No, Scott.
No.
Remember that?
Scott Paul.
We love Scott Paul. He's a good one.
F-bomb.
F-bomb. Hey,
He's a
you
good one.
have the Christmas tree back there, Mr. Mike, and it looks like you put an angelic guitar behind it. What is that angelic guitar?
That angelic guitar is a 2003 Les Paul Studio Platinum.
I get it. Platinum.
Yep. So everything on it is on that one it's a satin platinum finish with platinum pickup rings and platinum knobs and platinum headstock and platinum colored case and yeah, therefore platinum.
I strongly thought that all the angelic was a setup for like a D'Angelico for a minute.
I do not have a D'Angelico.
That would have been smart. You put a D'Angelico in there. We're live. We're live.
We're live.
We are.
Nice.
We're live.
How many
We've
things
been
have we
live.
done?
We've done 109 things. It is the 50th anniversary in review. Ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off the show. Hey,
Whoa.
see what I did there? I put like
That
all
was
of them.
cool. What?
It took me
Unexpected, man.
That took me 45 seconds to make.
We're going with
And-
the high budget one, aren't we?
Yeah, high budget. It's
yeah.
a high budget show. It's a low budget. It's
Yeah.
a high. It's a budget show.
It's high for a low budget, low for a high budget.
Yeah.
I used to make the intro graphics for the show, and now I don't.
Yeah,
Because
you
you're
got
high for a
busy.
low budget.
You're a high budget graphic maker, and I think that there's more to. I value you more than that, Gabe. Basically, that's what I'm saying. That's hard for me to say as a Tigers fan, talking to a Cleveland fan, but it's the truth. I do. I value you much more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Taylor Primetime's 50th anniversary in review. It's a year in review episode. We're going to have some really fun times tonight. We, Mike, being Mike and myself, got to sit down with Andy Powers yesterday for a hot minute, and that hot minute is about 40 minutes. And we are going to walk through the year with Andy. We asked him some questions. Stay tuned to the end because we're going to have a fun little competition with Jordan and Gabe. We did a longer segment of this or that with Andy, and it's fantastic. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to ask Andy the question, and then we're going to stop the video, and we're going to see if Jordan and or Gabe can get it right. If they get it right, they get nothing but a clap. Other than that, I mean, a clap is a big deal, though. Mike, what do you think?
It can, I mean, depending on how many and how loud. Yes, I agree. I mean, we're shooting for loud applause.
Okay.
Gabe, even though I knew this quiz was going to happen, I don't know the answers. I promise.
Even though I mixed the audio for the video with Andy, I don't know the answers.
Oh, you did?
I did, and I didn't.
How do you not know the answers then?
Because
Did
I didn't
you just
listen
leave
to
it and
the
let it?
whole video.
All right.
You didn't listen to the whole video? Oh, that's good. At least you don't listen to the work you do.
Well, I mean, I got the levels pretty good, and I picked the hot spots in the thing, and I was like, "Oh, that's a hot spot. Let's make sure we've got a, compressor that's taking out those peaks or whatever." And it sounded pretty good, and I was like, "Okay, I'm good."
I trust you, Gabe.
You
I
know what's
trust-
awesome about this show and the fan base and the club that we formed here is that during the show I will get emails, sometimes from the people watching the show, and Evan Smith, our good friend Evan Smith, he sent us an email, and he says, "Ready? Mike Venezia may not like this." So when I see that subject line, I'm like, awesome. I would like to see what this is. And he sent me one of these. And it says pentagon, hexagon, octagon, sotogon.
Oh,
Well, all right. So
that's fine.
at first I'm like, because it's anti-Yankee. Do I actually care? No.
I wouldn't pay $700 million. For that.
No, give me a break. I
There's
mean,
no
More than seven,
players
wasn't
that
it?
are worth that much money.
How much was it?
760
60?
for 15 years and a suite.
I would take $700 million to do this show.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I have no problem. I don't think Juan Soto had any problem taking the money. Met fans should have a real problem with Steve Cohen paying that money, especially over 15 years, because those last 5 or so. First of all,
He's not going to be good.
whenever
anymore.
whenever something like this happens, and I'm not wishing it on him at all, but whenever a big contract happens, invariably that person gets hurt.
Yeah.
It just does within the first 3 years of the contract. And I'm not wishing it on him. He's an amazing player. He's a generational player, but he's going to get hurt. And then he's going to be a really good player for the balance of the contract, but not a $51 million a year player.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we talked about that for the first 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Let's go into the show.
Thanks, Evan.
We're going to have a
Thanks.
little feed. I know Evan's awesome. I love you, Evan. Thanks for doing that. That made me really happy.
Set the tone for the whole
actually.
night there.
Yeah.
It set the tone. Guys, no hate. You know the deal.
I
with
think that
this.
was it.
No, there's more hate. It's good. Keep the feed clean. We don't want Gabe to put you in the timeout zone, but it looks like it's just our true fans tonight, which
It's the
like
last
they're
show
not
of the year.
untrue. It's the last show of the year, so it's the ones. It's the people who want to hang out. I love this group and this community that we've made, so I'm really excited about that. Hug your haters. Yes, actually, Jordan, since we've spoken, Mike, since we've spoken, we got a little hate. People are still up in arms about the fact that we took the world's funnest guitar, as in the GS Mini, and we put art on the top of those guitars. People are bummed out about that for some reason.
What
It's
now?
I
a fun
am.
guitar. It's this one was
Is it the
MLB and other stuff. And I'm like, you're not MLB fans, and that's totally fine. We love you to death, but we want to reach out and give you a hug for sending us a very lengthy email that it seemed like it took a lot of time to write, and we love you. Those are really fun guitars, so it's a perfect opportunity to reach non-guitar playing people with
Indeed.
their guitars.
And
It's
it's-
not a money grab. It is a fun marketing campaign.
And it's super fun. First of all, it's not a. I mean, it's a Taylor guitar, but it's not like a precious. It's not a
Presentation
814
series
or
or
a presentation.
Yeah.
It's a travel
It's fun.
guitar.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fun
fun.
guitar, and like for me, I think it's the perfect guitar to do that on. To put cool designs, like I love the Stio. Is that how you say it? Stio.
Steel,
Steel.
yeah,
The
those are
steel
great.
ones are rad. I love the steel ones. Like I think those
Yeah.
are so cool. Like I'm
Yeah.
really into those.
And we got some super cool ones coming out next year. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited about them. I have a good time. We got some other baseball ones coming out. We got some fun stuff happening around spring training. So I'm super excited about them. So I'm
love
giving
'em.
a hug. I understand that some people just don't know. How about NHL 112s? That would be awesome.
I understand
Getting the
people are-
NHL license is really hard because you have to license each individual team. MLB is one of the best, easiest to. It's not easy. That was not an easy license.
No.
However, it is. You license the league, so it's a little bit different. I would love to see Premier League guitars and NFL guitars and stuff like
That'd be
that.
sweet.
I just think it's fun. I would like to see other brands, but that's that. We're giving you love. Thank you for even taking the time to reach out and talk to us, and we appreciate your energy and hate. Quite honestly, we appreciate it. It makes us get better. All right, what have you been listening to? Let's do this real quick, and then we're going to get into Andy Powers. I'm excited about that. Mike, what have you been listening to?
Oh, have I got some things to share? So
Oh, goodness.
I got 3. Follow me on this one. The first one is what I've been listening to. The other 2, one I'm going to listen to and one I have been listening to, but they're Christmas themed because there's green and red involved. So I think it's appropriate considering what time of year it is. All right. This I picked up recently. It's Stone Temple Pilots Purple. The Atlantic Records 75th anniversary has been going on for a while. And these pressings, any of the Atlantic 75th anniversary pressings, are absolutely astounding. They're cut at 45 RPM, 180 gram vinyl. The sonic qualities of this are outrageous. any of these releases. And it's not just rock. I mean, it's rock, it's jazz, it's all over the map. So whatever genre you like, if it was released on Atlantic Records, check out these releases. They're fantastic. That's number one. Number two, our friends in Yachtly Crew, 'Tis the Season, have released a Christmas EP
That's
called
so,
Seas and Greetings.
That's great.
That's so good.
That's
This is
fantastic.
done on green vinyl.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Follows along
love
with the
that.
season. It's a 5-song EP. They do 4 covers and 1 original Christmas song. The first single is called It's Christmas Time, which is actually a Status Quo song. I didn't even know Status Quo had done a Christmas song. And it's actually being played a lot. It's in heavy rotation on Spotify now, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, or go to their website and buy one of their vinyl albums. And lastly, this was, speaking of Christmas, a Christmas gift to myself. I know there's fans of Van Halen out there.
Oh,
And I finally found
Got it.
and got
what you're looking for.
the holy grail of Van Halen releases.
Nice.
Now, people say, what is this? This is a 5-song EP. It's called the Merry Melodies EP. And this is released on Warner Brothers Records and sent only to radio stations prior to the release of Van Halen 1.
Yeah.
So, and like
Where'd
I
you
said,
find that?
green and red, pressed on red vinyl.
Nice.
Dude, that's cool.
So somebody in Pennsylvania actually had it, and I just got it today, and it's actually in really good, better shape than I actually imagined. But this was, again, a very, very limited thing. It wasn't sold to people. This was only sent to radio stations
Yeah.
with the original Van Halen logo. This was the first Van Halen logo before the VH Wings thing. So that's what
Did you-
I'm going to be listening to that later.
eBay?
I literally got home and it was waiting for me in the mailbox.
Oh, that's
eBay?
fun.
No, Discogs.
Discogs. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
That's where you find cool stuff and sometimes crush your fingers when it comes in.
Yeah, for real.
The store is reputable that actually had it, and you don't see them very often at all. So I grabbed one.
That's sick.
a good
Great.
find. Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
find. All right, Gabe. Gabe.
It's
What
it's
have you been
Christmas
listening
time.
to?
It's the holidays, so we're playing all the holiday things. Lots of I love the
DMB's
class.
holiday special.
They don't have one, but I love the classics. I love Nat King Cole and stuff like that. My wife was cranking Christmas metal today, and so
Yes.
of course, yeah, of course. So I was like, oh man,
Newfound Glory has a great Christmas album.
I should text Alex Skolnick and tell him that we're listening to him. But I picked up this gem recently, and it's fantastic. One of the greatest Christmas
Bare
records you
Naked
can own.
Ladies.
Bare Naked,
Bare
for the
Naked.
holidays. Bare Naked
Nice.
Ladies. And it's great. Everyone should get it. Go get it.
Okay, fine. I'm going to go get it. Jordan and your sweet mustache. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a round of applause for Jordan's mustache?
The Jordan Stash.
Movember is moved into Mo December.
Mauve December. Hey, Jordan, what have you been listening to?
What have I been listening to, or what has my mustache been listening to?
What has your mustache been listening to?
If they're listening to two different things, man, that
That thing is
stereo
listening to
separation is
Cop Rock.
amazing.
That
So
thing is listening to Cop Rock.
I've been listening to the Hard Quartet. Have you guys heard of them?
No.
They're
No.
great. Check them out. I only know them they came up on my Apple Music one time randomly, but they're awesome.
Are you sure you're not making up the band?
No.
But Jordan's voice right now is awesome. Jordan had laryngitis, and he was like, I don't want to do the show because I sound like this. And I was like, please do the show because you sound like that.
Check this
Oh, yeah,
album
yeah, yeah.
out. It's great.
Cool.
I love it. And then in Feeding in the Holiday Spirit, I've been listening to a couple of my fellow Jews, Neil Diamond and Adam Sandler. Man, so Neil Diamond, the 71, 72 Stones album and Moods album, can't go wrong with either of those.
No, my mom would totally agree. She's nodding her
Yep.
head right now and saying, yes, I agree.
They're the greatest. And then I love the Hanukkah song. And when I listen to the Hanukkah song from Sandler, I'll listen to his comedy albums all throughout the 90s. So that's kind of what I've been listening to lately.
Dude, Adam Sandler's great. The Hanukkah song.
He's the
come on.
best. Sandman.
All right, what have I been listening to? You know what? I got the controls of this thing, so I'm actually going to show you what I've been listening to. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little excerpt from something we launched recently by a man named Peter Collins.
My heart beats for you, you see, I love you dearly. You have such a love hold on me. I love you, oh, I love you. I love you. Ooh, I pray that I can really love you the same way your love captured me. All of me to you I'll stay true and be all that you want and need.
Ha ha! Hey, Peter Collins. We have another piece of content coming out with him. A Christmas performance that he did. It'll be dropping on Monday, I believe. So we're
He's
really
great.
excited about that. That was
Voice of an
so
angel, man.
much
Yeah.
fun to mix. Gabe Boosty and I did that one with the idea. So that a lot of that is natural reverb in that spot.
So
right?
wet.
And yeah, we know somebody who wouldn't like that.
We know somebody who would love the amount of reverb on that.
Yeah, I know. So our trick, what we were trying to do there, which was fun, was when his shadow was introduced, we wanted to double his vocal. So we had some fun with panning and delay and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of sounded like two voices, but that was a blast to shoot. Peter Collins, we dropped that last week or something like that. So it's in our YouTube channel. Go check it out. I love Peter. He's such a remarkable performer. That's what I'm listening to. I've been listening to everything Peter Collins because he's wild. I wish Gabe could sing like that.
I am glad I can't. I think Peter Collins should do it. He does it very
know.
well. We don't need me.
If you guys
do
could
that.
sing like any one artist, who would it be?
Oh,
That's a really good question.
and why is it Michael McDonald?
And why is it Michael McDonald? Yeah.
Just so I could run around and tell everybody
You're
how
on
taking
mute.
it to
You're
the
on mute, Mike. But I think mine is easy. Mine would be Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden.
Yeah, for me, it's Chris Cornell, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Chris
Cornell's a
Cornell's
good
another one. Soundgarden in that era of music was my top. So
Yep.
Chris Cornell. I got to spend time. I toured with Linkin Park for a while. So Chester. Chester
yeah.
was somebody that I loved being around, listening to just how angelic his voice would get. Neil Diamond would be another one, like Neil. Michael
He's got
Bublé.
that theatric voice.
Bublé, like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bublé's smooth as silk.
Bublé
Yeah.
is like, if you don't like Michael Bublé, I kind of don't trust you that much.
All right,
and
so-
I am being honest. I love him.
It's fair.
Well, you say Michael Bublé, so now let's talk about the precursor. What about Harry
Harry
Connick
Connick
Jr.?
Jr.
Harry Connick Jr. is
Yeah.
so
So
much
much better.
remarkable. He's become a better actor than a singer lately, but when he was younger, he was like Harry Connick Jr. is magical. Anyway, crooner.
I would pick either Bono or Sting.
Oh yeah, those are great.
Great voices, man.
Yeah, Gabe, who about you?
I don't know. Nat King Cole, Prince,
Yeah,
Michael McDonald is
Prince.
honestly a badass. Tom
Yeah.
Petty.
Tom
Like,
Petty. Oh
yeah,
man,
Tom Petty's great. Anybody but myself
Yeah.
would be fine.
Yeah.
You know, we actually got a note from Peter Collins, and he wished he sung like Gabe.
If you accidentally discovered my record, you'll know what I mean. Anyone but myself would be great.
Yeah.
Anyone else? There's so many great talents out there. Like, man, I don't know. I just like listening to them. I'm good.
music. Well, now that we have this chat, this is done. I think we should just jump right into the 50th review of the 50th anniversary year. It's been fantastic. Early in the year, we launched a series of campaign called the 50th Anniversary Next Generation. And it was where a more established artist nominated a younger artist. Some of them are not up-and-comers. Some of them are massive already. But just nominated somebody who is they feel should be in the limelight for the next 50 years. And I want to tie this to the guitars that we launched. My goodness, do we have that in here? I don't think we do. We remember that graphic MC made.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan with like a billion 50th anniversary guitars. Mike, what guitar was like the one that we sold a lot of 50th anniversary guitars, but which guitar was the greatest hit?
Well,
or guitars.
So we have to qualify this because there are two winners. Okay. If you want to talk about, sheer numbers overall, the GS Mini, 50th anniversary GS Mini. First of all, the GS Mini sell like wildfire as it is, right? Mm-hmm. And a 50th anniversary collectible version to put and add to your collection with the collectability of a 50th anniversary guitar, because we're only making it the 1 year with all that badging and all the appointments. That was a big hit. We sold a metric ton of those. And then as far as the other guitars, we put out several, about a dozen or so. The number one of all those was the Builder's Edition 50th anniversary Builder's Edition 814 CE Limited. It's a very long name. 50th anniversary Builder's Edition 814 CE Limited. That guitar did very, very well, but it did very, very well for a reason. It was, and it not just was, it still is a fantastic guitar. Remarkably sounding guitar. I remember when I listened to a prototype near the end of 2023 and I strummed it once and I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be a hit. And there's no way it's not. Sinker Redwood, East Indian Rosewood sides and back, and all the Builder's Edition appointments that you could possibly want. Goto tuners, contour heel, contour cutaway, beveled armrest, curved wing bridge, the whole thing. It was astounding. And there's still some out there, and I'd grab one.
Yeah, they are so good. If you're looking for a guitar, if somebody's looking for more of a, there's a few people who like to call Taylors or higher end Taylors gourmet acoustic guitars. If you're looking for a gourmet acoustic guitar, the 50th anniversary Builder's Edition 814 CE Limited is phenomenal. Almost as long as a name as nomenclature as the 50th anniversary Builder's Edition 314 CE Kona Burst Limited. I wanted to say that to see if I still could.
I think the GS Mini one might actually beat it because that was a 50th anniversary GS Mini E Rosewood Sunburst Limited.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen any of the 50th anniversary content, I pulled one of these clips in here, and it is showcasing that 814 that we talked about. We will be back in a minute and 51 seconds.
Hey, I'm Zach Brown. This year, Taylor Guitars is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and they've asked me to nominate an up-and-coming artist you might be seeing over the next 50 years. So I'd like to nominate a super talented performer, Marcus King, as an artist to watch for the next 50 years.
Thanks to our buddy Zach Brown for nominating me as an artist to watch for the next 50 years. I'm going to do me a little Zach Brown number here on the 50th anniversary Builder's Edition 814 CE, and we hope you enjoy it. Sad songs sound sadder on an old Taylor. Only gets better. Played 1,000 times. Like an old Georgia pine can't pick up and run from his roots. Home is still home no matter which road you choose. You can't put reins on a wild palomino. Won't see an old cowboy cry. Long as God's still in church, Hard work still works. This collar on my shirt's still blue. I'll never stop loving you. I'll never stop loving you.
This is how good that guy is. We recorded that tag right there at the end like 15 times, and he would just punch in perfectly, and it was so good that even the camera sync was just fantastic. He's great. Love him.
What's so crazy is Marcus is, I think,
Yeah.
is 28 years old.
Yes. He's young. He
And
is
he's
under the age
been-
of 30.
His voice
been
has lived
doing
100
this.
years, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been doing, but even with that, he's been doing this for like not a year, not 2 years. He's been doing this for a little while now.
Yeah.
And he had that voice of a, salty, 50-year-old who gargled with some whiskey for a while. It's just magnificent. That voice is it's just otherworldly, and his playing is outstanding.
One of the more fun things I got to mix this year.
Yeah. You nailed that mix, man. That was a special moment. We literally had about 32 and a half minutes to film that thing, and that content came out of it. So even Zach filming himself on an airplane with a potato. Just kidding. That was fantastic. It's so funny that Zach will just do whatever. He loves the brand that much. He'll just do it wherever. And he's sitting on a plane. He's like, oh, I got to record this thing. And next thing you know, he sent it to us, and it was great. So I want to applaud everybody for 50th anniversary. That was really, really fun year. We're going to keep talking about it. So I'm going to pull up some content here. We're going to be on the screen so that you can see us. I'll figure out how to make that happen. But enjoy this conversation with Andy Powers. We will start and stop it for a little bit and kind of catch up. And
Little watch party action.
little watch party action. This is what do they call it? A fight combo? What do they call it? A fight? When like podcasters have, they watch UFC fights. What's that called? A fight companion. That's it. I knew. Right? That's what it's called, right? Fight
Jordan,
companion.
people in the comments want to know what you're drinking.
Celsius.
Vitamin water.
There you go, people in the comments.
What are you drinking, Gabe?
It's coffee with peppermint schnapps in it.
Gabe, it's like
Who's-
a billion o'clock
who's-
there. Why are you drinking coffee?
It's got peppermint schnapps in it.
I drink coffee at all hours, and my wife and I picked up some schnapps for evening tea and coffee and things like that recently, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make this for prime time.
Schnapps?
Who asked what I was drinking?
I don't know. It was earlier. I
Somebody in the
saw it.
comments.
Somebody in the
was
comments,
like,
yeah.
Jordan, what are you drinking?
All right, ladies
Oh.
and gentlemen, Andy Powers, we will be here with you. Add to stage. Am I supposed to do that? I'm supposed to push a button right now, right?
Well, you'll find out if we're gone. You didn't. You weren't
Yeah,
supposed
okay.
to.
Hold on.
All right, we're here. It's the last episode of Primetime
For 2024.
for 2024, which is our
And made me
50th
nervous there
anniversary
for a
year.
minute.
Yeah. And we wanted to sit down with Andy in his very busy schedule, designing, building all of the guitar things that we could ever.
Does it work when I do this?
It's
Yeah.
Technology's tight, huh? All right, let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Awesome.
Dream about. Andy might be making them right now.
Cool.
I'm not. I'm here chatting with you.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
But you're
right.
thinking about making them
I am.
while talking to us.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I drift off, you know why.
We had some fun, Andy, and producer Jordan reached out to a handful of people who we work with,
Okay.
and we curated some questions for you. So
Okay.
some questions up top here are longer form questions. Have
Okay.
fun answering them, and then the bottom we're going to do another little segment of this or that, which are always fun to do. So we're going to have Andy for just a little
All right.
short period of time
All
here.
right.
But here
I'm
we go.
game.
Mike, will you do the honor and ask the first question?
The inaugural.
Inaugural.
Question, if you will.
I can't even say it. That's hard to say.
I could barely say it, but
It's
I did
hard to
it.
say, and physics is hard to spell.
I'm going
so-
to say some other words.
Great.
To
Go.
Andy in question form. to
Great.
kick us
Perfect.
off.
Look
Wait.
at Carlo.
I just love
You're
Andy.
muted, Jay.
Jay,
Thanks.
you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Can everybody see this? So before we started talking about this,
That's
we
so fantastic
we were
right there.
talking about how people
Yeah.
always, when we're filming in there, like to peek their head in,
Yeah.
and it happened. I loved it. Anyway, Carlos back
I
there.
just
Carlos,
wanted to wait, Jay. I just wanted to his face, Andy's face, when he's just sipping his coffee when you guys are just talking about how to pronounce inaugural in physics is priceless.
I mean, yeah. I mean, compared
just
to
like
Andy,
you
we're
said.
not the brightest. But what? All right, all right.
Now, mind you, we recorded this a long time ago, like yesterday.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
yesterday.
right.
This is like 24 hours old.
All right, hang in there.
Excellent. Thank you.
Will I know those words? I hope so. If not, you'll be making guitars shortly after this question. Okay, so Taylor's 50th anniversary year has been full of reflection and celebration. How has it personally impacted you, and what have you learned from this milestone?
You know, that's actually a pretty good question, because this year has been such an interesting one with so many ups, downs, twists, turns, this, that's, and the others. It's been interesting to have the 50th anniversary milestone as kind of like a, I don't know, like a reflection piece. You go, wow, okay, so despite everything that's happening every single day, every single week, every month throughout this year, you go, except this is what our 50th year in business looks like. Huh, that's kind of interesting. And so, in a way, it feels like it reflects backwards on the entirety of Taylor Guitar's history. You know, I don't know that there ever was a minute that was just same old song, same old story, steady as it goes, same old day. No, it's never like that. It's never like that. You're making guitars. Well, great. But you're making different guitars. You're solving a different challenge. You're using a different wood. You're solving for this. You're trying to fix this or see if you can improve that. It's full of growth. And so I imagine that Bob and Kurt, if we asked them the same question, would have some pretty good insight into that. I mean, 50 years is a chunk of time. That's a lot. But what I can see from them and what I've seen in my own story is that it's a series of daily growth that happens, comes your way, and you go, okay, well, here's where we're at. I can see where we're going. Let's just keep moving.
So let me ask you a really quick follow-up to that. You kind of sort of answered it, but is it what you expected?
Yes and no. Because in some ways, yeah, it's exactly what I'd expect. It's what it's always been like. We go, we'll see. It's gonna, whatever is about to happen is what's coming down for us. And it's never been a predictable, mundane, humdrum sort of existence. That's not what life as Taylor feels like.
Indeed.
And yet, at the same time, yeah, it's kind of what you expect. Go, well, we're building guitars. We're going to build some different guitars. We're going to build some exciting ones. We're going to build some that are challenging, some that are a little easier. It's going to be a mix of all of it.
You know, it's funny. I always say if we could predict the future, we'd be in the prediction business, not the guitar building business.
That's a good way to say it. That's a good way to say it. I mean, there's probably, if you're in the prediction business, there's probably other fields that you should get into. Might be more lucrative.
Yeah.
But
the lotto jackpots would be way lower. It's like this week $7. Oh, okay.
but guitars sound better.
Yeah, guitars sound.
And they're a lot more fun.
Indeed.
Speaking of guitars, what emerging trends in the recording industry do you think have the most impact on guitar design in the coming years?
Probably. Oh, you could say it using a couple different words. On one hand, it feels like the kinds of sounds that musicians want to make are more fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
That's maybe a negative sounding word. The other side, it's a wider variety. Maybe that's a more positive sounding word. What I see amongst musicians when they go into a studio, anything is fair game. More than ever. any kind of sound that's interesting, that fits a song, that has a creative something or other, a twist, any of it goes. You know, for a long while, fidelity and fidelity alone was the benchmark. And for good reason. I mean, you want something that's clear, that's dynamic, that's accurate. You want to actually get the take done. You want to get the parts played. You want it to fit, right? And so that's great. And having some of that, well, then you go, well, what's the other stuff? What's the seasoning? What are the other flavors we put on top? You know, so maybe that's anything from different picks or strings or something that would be like the guitar equivalent of prepared piano. If you've ever done that, you see somebody take a great piano and like put a couple of screws in there and some, you know, half of a Blockbuster video rental card under the strings. I don't know that anybody still has those. You know, they would make all kinds of weird sounds come out of the thing. Guitar players musicians are doing all kinds of interesting things. So you go, well, we've got something like an 814. We have great fidelity, super great dynamic range, super accurate notes. Cool. You hear it on a track, go, it's glorious. It's like fits so perfectly. And then you see someone pick up another guitar and you go, so you took that 312 and you stuck a piece of felt under the saddle and then you wiped chapstick on the strings so it would sound super thuddy and kind of, and you hear it played back, you go,
that sounds
that's actually that's pretty cool. Actually, it sounds, this might not be what I'd recommend, but yeah, I kind of get what you're going for, you know? And so I see a lot of variety. Like creative musicians are digging into their bag of tricks and coming up with creative sounds and things to make their music interesting.
Boy, oh,
I love it.
Boy, oh boy, Rubber Bridge is really trendy right now.
Oh man,
it is all over every record, and it's like now to the point where people are selling Rubber Bridge conversion kits and stuff like that.
I get it.
I'm not even mad.
No,
I think it's a great
like
idea.
People do things and you listen to it and you go, well, violin players know what a pizzicato sound is. All string players know what it is. And they put mutes on them. I mean, look at all the cool tricks that a trumpet player has.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you see a trumpet player walk into the gig and they've got like this little tidy case. You go, oh, that's a nice load in to load out. And then they've got like Santa Claus's bag of toys that they haul in with the other hand. You go, you got a this mute and a that and a whatever, you know, you go, there's actually a lot of sounds you can pull out of one of those things, you know?
For real.
One thing I want to talk about, Mike and I were talking about this with Andy. Andy is every decision that he makes for the most part when he's talking about designing guitars and stuff like that is how is it going to benefit the artist? How is it going to benefit the player? So when we go back, I talked about this with Andy a little bit, Mike, if you recall, is when I give a factory tour, one of the things I talk about was Bob's checklist, right? Of who will replace me checklist. And one of the things that Bob wanted out of Andy when he was replacing himself, right? The person, dear God, the person who will replace me will. He wanted that person to be an incredible musician and a historian of guitar. So it's fun. I don't know about you, Mike, but how some of these answers that he was giving just kind of dove into that. Like you feel the passion for music. So much though at the end of this whole filming, I think the cameras weren't rolling. Andy had an actual like visible emotional moment about Joe Cocker's song that was just incredible. So, yeah. Anyway,
Actually, I think we had that on camera.
maybe we have it on camera. Anyway,
I think it might
we'll
be
see.
at the end of this segment.
I hope so. Anyway, here we go. More of it. Love it.
Will Diodario be coming out with a chapstick-friendly set of strings?
That's not it.
That's not the question. That's not the question. I'm sure we're not working on that. Seriously, though, obviously you're...
Makes for good fretboard conditioning.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
So obviously you're deeply involved in guitar design. What excites you most about the future of guitar making from the technology point of view, from the technology standpoint? What guitar making technology are you like, I can't wait to get my hands on that?
I think it's actually a lot of the things that we already have in our own factory that feel like we haven't fully exploited yet.
Oh.
Like there's still more development to be done with some of the tools and machines that we already have. Go, wow, we're using this thing to do this, but it could, got this laundry list of things to go. We haven't even yet designed something that could exploit all of the capabilities of this, or this. That's coming, but yeah, it's gonna be good still. And so you look at it like a Fadal, and this machine is what, 40 years old, and yet there's still things that we could do that we haven't done yet. There's still new ways to hold apart, still things we could streamline, things that would take me weeks and weeks to do by hand with chisels and knives and kind of get perfect once. So we can build things like that in a factory setting using some of these tools. It could be really great for guitar players to enjoy.
Great.
Yeah, so I think it's getting, in a way, it's getting in for more of what we already do.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the craft of making instruments. Like to me, the craft of it is so exciting because you're not forced to just do the same thing that we used to do for the rest of your life. It's not this, doesn't have to be the same recipe. You can make it different. You can make it better. You can keep going forward and go, man, these tools, we can make them do different things.
Right. Yep.
There's a lot of different cool sounds to make. There's a lot of songs we haven't played yet.
And to clarify, the craft, that's all of it. I enjoy accidentally bursting into Andy's office with some random idea at some points, and you're sitting there with this thing. You might have one nearby. It's called a pencil.
Yeah, it was in my pocket. I left it on the bench.
And a separate tool, it's called an eraser. And Andy can build guitars with in his mind at least, and then onto paper with that. Oh, look, an old-fashioned set of calipers. I guess that's a
new one. That one's got some of those
modern.
digitally things.
But it kind of goes back to the whole thing. Like, you buy a hammer, well, you don't buy it for one purpose, right?
Right.
How many houses can be built with that one hammer? But how many pieces of furniture can be built with that hammer, and so on and so forth?
I don't know. I mean, I guess having mostly just played music and built instruments, I see a lot of the parallels between the two. How many songs have been written, played, and recorded and enjoyed with the same handful of notes and chords?
Yep. Absolutely. Right.
Right?
Yep.
How many different ways can you put them together? A lot. Actually, a lot. There's a lot of different ways. Sure, we have some of our favorites. We like when chords move in this order. And sometimes if you put them upside down, you go, ooh, that's interesting too. Right. Or shuffle them around and you go, man, there's a lot of different ways to enjoy this craft that we call guitar making.
Speaking of advice, what advice would you give young luthiers or guitar makers who are hoping to make their mark in the industry?
Start and keep going.
Right.
You just got to start. It's like nobody's going to make a masterpiece their first time. It's like your first at bat, you probably won't hit a home run.
No.
See, I used a sports analogy for you.
I love it. See?
2 seconds of
Two
sports.
seconds of
Right?
sports.
I did it. That one was for you.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. My work here's done.
We did talk about hockey before we started
Yeah,
filming.
we did.
That's true.
So
Fighting with sticks on ice.
Yes. Fighting with sticks on ice.
.com.
So you just start it.
Yeah.
You go, well, if you want to do something that's worth doing badly, just start. Try it. And then go learn what you learn from it and keep moving.
Right. It's the same thing with songwriting or playing guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep doing it. Just learn it. Find things that you like. Find things, there's always the arguments of learn how to read music. I don't really read music that well, but I can play music.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it on the show so many
million
times.
times.
If you're doing it, you're great.
Yes.
You're great. Keep doing it. Keep
Right.
doing it. I love that. Bob has a similar, comment there, or would answer that saying, just do it.
Isn't it the same as everything else
Yeah.
that you do?
If it's worth
Like,
doing, it's worth doing
It's like
poorly.
my wife homeschools our kids, and it's been fun to watch all of them grow up a little bit and learn to read. Did you know that they didn't know how to read when they were born?
That's crazy.
It's shocking. Shocking to think.
Who knew?
Who knew? Not them, clearly.
Yeah.
And you know what? You go, well, you can't say that I'm never going to learn to read because I don't know how. Go, just start. Start simple. Start small. Go, you learn a couple of pieces. You learn some alphabets, funny looking little pictures on paper. This one means this one does this. You put them together these ways. You just start down that road. And eventually you get to tackle War and Peace or anything like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
So as you look into the future, get out your future goggles, prediction business. No. If you had to choose one thing that you're willing to talk about, and I have to preface it with that, what's one thing that you're really excited, most excited to explore or accomplish with Taylor guitars in the coming years? Let's say the next 5-10 years.
I love the variety of sounds that musicians make. I don't want to make just the same guitar over and over and over. Like, I don't get me wrong. I love the guitars that we make. I love the guitars that we have made. I love the way they age. I love that people will play the same 3 chords and be completely content with those 3 chords. I think that's great. So don't interpret this as anything against that. I love when musicians use their instruments in different ways and want to make different kinds of sounds. So I look at the guitars that we're working on right now, the things I was working on earlier today, and man, they light me up because that's a big wide world out there. And there's a lot of different tastes, a lot of flavors, a lot of different sounds, a lot of songs that can be written. Because in a way, I think of playing music as being in the inspiration business. I think most musicians, it's one of the things I find so interesting. Yeah, that's too weak of a word, really. I love that a person can see value in picking an instrument up. When I'm going to express myself with this, I'm going to find some creative input, I'm going to find some inspiration, and I'm going to play a song. I see value in that. I just absolutely love that about the kinds of people who would be compelled to pick up a guitar and play a song. I just think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And so as a guitar maker, appreciating the people who play instruments, I love guitar players of every shape and size go, I want to build some instruments for those kinds of people. They inspire me.
I love that. Well, we got a humdinger right here in the question.
This is hum and the ding.
Yeah.
Is it 60 cycle hum or
Yeah,
what,
60 cycle
okay.
hum. What did you learn the most from Bob and Kurt?
Most implies priority of job number 1. Pretty tough to nail one single thing down.
Yeah.
That would be pretty tough because if you look at Bob and Kurt as individuals, as people, they both see eye to eye on a lot of things, and yet they're very, very different in the way that they would look at the world. And they have different fields of expertise. And I wouldn't say that one piece of advice is necessarily more valuable than another, other than to say, if it's something that draws you in and you see value in doing for the benefit of those around you, you should pursue it. There's value there. It's important. It's worth doing. So you just start and keep moving.
Yeah.
And so whether it was coming out the world of finance, marketing, sales,
Right.
administration, the things that Kurt is so good at, whether it's looking at a factory or industrializing an idea or a process or tackling a big, kind of systemic issue of a source or a supply or something, okay, break any of these things into little pieces. If you see value in doing it and you can see that people can benefit from that, that's going to be worth spending some time and some effort at. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I love that.
All right. what do you hope your guitar designs convey about you as a person?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
I wish I wrote it,
Yeah. I wish you wrote it too.
but it is a great question.
I hope that people would pick up one of our guitars and find inspiration and joy in it, because that's what I want to put into it. I find inspiration and joy whenever I pick up an instrument, whenever I get to take a piece of wood and turn it into a thing that would play songs, make music, brighten someone's day a little bit. I hope when they pick those instruments up, they find some joy and some inspiration in that.
Right?
If there's one thing that guitars cure, it's the lack of joy. And yeah, I find that just remarkable about this place, about you, about everybody here, is that idea of, look, man, at the end of the day, yes, we make instruments, but those instruments bring joy.
Yep.
So having a conversation with my mother once, I said, yeah, we're just joy makers. That's what we do. Because you can see something with 6 strings and some wood and tuning machines on it, as long as it's in tune.
Well, that's nice. That's a
Right?
real,
But even
real
tuning
good
it is,
benefit.
even tuning it is joyful. Anyway,
Sense of
Yeah,
accomplishment.
I mean,
it is a sense of
yeah,
accomplishment.
it is. But like as a kid, our family had a guitar and it kind of leaned in the corner of the room next to the piano. I would love to pick it up, even though I didn't know how to play it. I can still remember like just touching it and going like, it's got this shape to it. It's made of wood. I like wood. And it's got this shape. It makes sound. Strum open strings, even probably out of tune. You just go, this is like this neat magic box. This is really something.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that be said, we've got another question here. This one
kind of actually relates to what you
could
just
be
said.
pretty loaded. You answer this however you see fit. What's the best acoustic guitar you've ever played?
Best acoustic guitar I ever played.
Now, before you answer, realize that anybody watching the show is going to go scouring the earth for this model that you're about to say. So it's a Builder's Edition 814 CE, isn't it?
What would Bob say? 614 CE. Come on.
You know what though? It's tough. That's actually a difficult question to answer because we're privileged to make a lot of really enjoyable, inspiring, joy-filled guitars. For me personally, oh gosh, I don't know. I think it'd be one of the guitars that I'm most sentimental about. So, and I'm fortunate that I have a couple that I've made that have a lot of meaning to me just beyond the nuts and bolts of what the thing is. Like there's a flat top steel string that I built, I don't know, 20 years ago. That was, I made it from wood that was given to me by a real influential figure in my life. It's a really neat guitar. I love that guitar. It's a great sounding guitar, great playing guitar. It's not the fanciest looking one, and it's got 20 years of playing wear on it now. But I love playing it, and to me, it's one of the best sounding guitars that I hear because I like it. I like what it signifies to me. My kids like it because I play bedtime songs for them with that guitar. I go, it's accompanied me a lot of places. So to me, that's one of the best sounding guitars. I have an archtop guitar that I built even before that. That one is one of the best sounding guitars to me because I've played hundreds and hundreds of gigs of every size, shape, flavor, location on that guitar. I go, yeah, it's got almost no finish down here and not much up here. And you know what? It's a great sounding guitar. I love that guitar. It'd be hard for me to replace that one. And so I think that's one of the parts with guitars that I do enjoy is it's not just a model. It's not just a name or a price tag that went on the guitar necessarily. It's not any of those things that make it valuable. It's the songs that a person plays with it. What kind of inspiration did they get? What kind of stories did they make with it? ultimately that's what makes it valuable to me.
I think it's funny. We have a series of content that we do from time to time, and you can see it on YouTube, called Coffee and Guitars with Andy, where we will curate questions from Facebook, Taylor Owners Group, and stuff like that, right? And one of the questions was...
I'm accepting coffee submissions, by the way.
One of the questions, in one of the short episodes was, what's your favorite guitar right now? And
That's an appropriate question.
right.
Yeah.
And you had a 717 in your lap, and you said, right now, it's this 717 because I'm making songs with it.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah. It's interesting. I have those sentimental instruments.
And we all do. We all do. Whether you only have one, which kind of narrows down the playing field,
Sure.
or if you have several, you always have the one that you gravitate to for one reason or another.
Right.
Yeah.
And we take those memories with us. Even when that guitar is gone, those memories stick with us, and we still have sentimentality attached to that particular instrument.
I think for me it's hard to answer because I got into a lot of different kinds of music.
Yeah.
And so I have favorites that sort of fit a thing, a flavor. I go, well, do I have to pick just one? Because that feels like it means I'm excluding some of this, or it means I absolutely love these Powers Electric guitars that we're making. Could you ask me a favorite color? No, I can't answer that. People have tried. I go, I don't know. Every time we make one, I go, I love this color. And it's a different color. Sometimes it's what color I've never thought of or seen. Yeah. And you look at that and go, well, as a guitar, that is a really cool electric guitar. Does it make it a better electric than the acoustic of mine that's a favorite acoustic guitar? Like, this one's equally good guitar. This one's equally good guitar. They're just different.
Yeah.
So,
But that's when we start segmenting, though, right? We say, like, this is my favorite electric guitar with 2 humbuckers. And this is my favorite electric guitar that is single coils. And this is my favorite acoustic guitar made of rosewood.
So my wife likes to heckle me a little bit about this. I struggle with the phrase "the best song ever written."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have my top 10 list of best songs ever written, and they're all the best song that's ever been written. And that list is probably actually 1,000 songs long. Yeah. You know what I mean? She goes, you use that phrase at least 10 times every week. They can't all be the best song ever written. I go, yeah, but in that moment, it sure feels like it.
I feel that my wife has harassed me about that same thing. That's the greatest band ever. She's like, I thought Iron Maiden was the greatest band ever. Well, yeah, they are.
Okay, okay, here's one from this past weekend. Okay, I was listening to a Joe Cocker record. You have Joe Cocker record?
Greatest.
A recording.
He's the best.
A recording of The Letter.
Yeah.
Holy smoke!
Oh, yeah.
You hear the horns and the B3. It like moves me to tears. I almost had to pull over and go like, I'm not okay to drive right now. Hang on. Let me get to the end of the song and then we can keep going. Yep. It's got to be one of the greatest songs ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then next one comes on the record. Wait. Hey, you should drive. I'll let you get to.
I'm the same way. It's fine. Yeah. We're all good. Mike, wrap up with this question. This one's loaded.
Yes. Now this one, everybody that's watching can relate to this one. All right. What toy did you want for Christmas when you were younger that you never got but always wanted?
My Christmases were really weird. My parents surprised me with a couple of things that I never saw coming that I am eternally grateful for, because I wouldn't have thought that was, like within the family budget. It came up recently. My first side bending iron went out.
I said bandsaw before you came in. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, my parents surprised me with a bending iron, not like a hokey hand-built, like cobbled together one, which is what I kind of was playing with up until that point. I really think they didn't want me to burn their garage down. I think that's mostly what it was.
That's fair.
But they bought an actual, like, with the with a temperature control, actual bending iron. I was probably, I don't know, it might have been 11 or 12. And I was like dumbfounded. Like, I cannot, this has got to be the greatest Christmas of my life.
Jay, when did you get your first bending iron?
I've been asking for it from Santa every year.
Yeah. I'm 52. I still have not gotten my first bending iron.
I have my first bending iron. But
You guys, you could have told me that, like, we're almost to Christmas. I can't do much about it now.
You know what? I'm sure you would use it far better than either of us put together.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
This is one of those reasons I tell people on factory tours, we are in good hands.
Yes.
Right? I often will get to the Andy Powers part and I go like this. Andy built his first guitar when he was 7 or 8. It's an internal argument that he's had with himself.
One of the arguments is I'm not sure it was a guitar. It was more of a guitar-shaped object.
Right. And I said, and the first guitar that he performed on when he was 11-ish, and then by the time he was 13, he was getting Mr. and Mrs. Powers phone calls. We've got some guitars for Andy to repair, and then you got a call from the IRS. So there's that.
Yeah.
With that, let's go into
all of the skeletons in the closet. Yep.
Let's go into a round.
Thank you for that.
This or that.
It's time. It's time to go into a round.
Oh,
of
yeah.
This or that. This is really.
Who's going to
good
keep
time.
score?
I don't know how to do this. You keep score because I got to push the button. Apparently.
Well, yeah, you're all right.
Before
those answers were all so great, man.
They were.
You wanna
Before
talk,
we jump
Gabe?
into it, yeah, I had a thing that I've been hanging on to. I texted you to try and flag you down about this earlier, but
I don't know. Look
Andy
how
was
that
talking
looks cool.
earlier about the like using tools in different ways and all that. And I remembered something Bob said the last time I think that we had Bob on, which is always a lot of fun. About we were asking Bob, kind of like, well, what else is that? Like you got to imagine these guys, like what else is there to tackle at this point?
Right.
And Bob was talking about putting the dots on the side of the fretboard, the little fret markers, and how the fact that that's like still done by hand. And in my head, I was like, I can see, like there are still things to do using things that you have. And I was like, man, I can really see that. Like I can see in my head, I just remembered Bob talking about that. I was like, yep, there's always something to do better.
You've been editing the 50th anniversary podcasts that we have to try and finish by the end of the year. This is crazy because there's so much, they're so long and there's so much information in there. But
yeah, so many of them are get turned into 2 episodes because they're like 2 hours long. And I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, but what in that journey? And guys, if you haven't seen our American Dreamers 50 Years of Taylor Guitars podcast, it's on. We're rolling out all the episodes on YouTube right now, but they're on all the wherever you listen to podcasts. It's called American Dreamers 50 Years of Taylor Guitars, and it's been inspiring to listen to the whole thing or watch the whole thing or all
Terribly interesting.
But all the little details. And you can tell when Andy's answering questions, it's thoughtful. It's not just, he's not just reaching in his pocket of answers and just throwing spaghetti up against the wall, right? He doesn't do that. It's all thoughtful. These are things that he thinks about and the details and we always say the devil's in the details, right? Like really finding the answers for something. So we truly are in good hands.
Yeah. That's one of those things that
the rest of guitar time
where you feel like talking to Andy or talking to Bob, or if you've gotten to talk to Kurt, you don't ever feel like you're just getting some kind of stock answer to things. And I've had opportunity to talk to all those guys about different things. There's a well of knowledge they're reaching into, and they're giving you if you've seen Bob on Primetime, you get a pretty good, indicator of what that's like, because he gives very straightforward assessments of things. The podcast is really interesting in that because he'll give very straightforward assessments of things or talk very candidly about things that happened along the way or how they happened or why, like that are just kind of, you're like, wow, like I'm a little surprised, you would just drop that and not try to steep it in some kind of I don't know, corporate mythology speak or something. Like he's just being transparent about that. Like, oh, okay, that's really interesting. You know, like there's a lot of things like that. So I've always found them. Andy is a lot like that. He'll just, you know, he's giving you an answer based on what he knows, not what he thinks is necessarily the thing to say. He's he's dipping into a well of knowledge, and so when he stops to think, it's not like he's not parsing his answer. He's trying to give you the best information that he can, and it's
We
you
always
talk to him enough, and you end up in a 30-minute conversation with him about apples or something, and you know, like you start to realize like this depth of knowledge is like wild.
all three of them, Bob, Kurt, and Andy. I have such a funny story about it. It's funny to me because I know him, right? We spend time with him. He's not here all the time anymore, at least in the office. But Kurt, there was when we were, I don't know if you remember this, Jordan, but we were planning, it was pre-MLB GS Mini launch, and we were talking about the business of baseball and how it works, and people, how baseball players, they get paid based on the city that they're in playing the game. And Kurt came up the stairs. Right. We're in that office that you're in right now, Tim's office. We're sitting at that conference table behind, but the door was cracked open just a little bit. And you see Kurt up the steps, and he turns right to go back towards his office. And then he hears what we were saying, and he turns around, and he comes in there, and he goes, service. They get paid where they're doing the service, in this case, playing the game. All right, have a good day. And he just walked away. All three of them, it's like if you ask a question, be patient, because they're going to give you the best answers. And hey, Bill, I want to give a shout out to producer Jordan's mustache right there. So it was his mustache's idea to reach out to a bunch of people. All of the questions tonight were curated through people around Taylor. Executives, VPs, people who have worked with him, people on the sales team, people on the marketing team, etc. So this was all Jordan's idea. This episode was his, so he deserves
Jordan rules.
Jordan's mustache really
I
deserves.
do what the mustache tells me.
Yeah, it's great.
It should have its own like Instagram account.
Do you have an Instagram channel for your account for your mustache?
It's in the works.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I think the website is jordansmustache.golf.
.golf.
I had a
Because
fun.
the golf domains are cheaper.
Yes.
Mike and I know we once went on a binge buying.
Oh,
these.
yes.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Let's get into this or
Buying
that.
.golf URLs. I was in on that. That was at like a summer damn show.
Yeah, it was so good. All right. So here's how this works. We're gonna start this video over, or well, not over, but
Not over.
We're gonna press play.
Okay.
We're gonna lean into some this or that. I will do my best to stop so that Andy doesn't say the answer, and we'll get our information. We'll get a good guess from these two fellas on the bottom over here. Okay, here we go. Ready?
This one's fun.
Yeah.
All right. This or that, you know how this works. You got to pick one. Even if it's hard, you got to pick one. And then we'll see if Andy can do it.
Some of these are really
struggle.
good.
Some of these are
Some of
really,
these are really
really
good.
good.
We
All right.
had fun coming up with some of these.
Orville Gibson or Leo Fender?
Ooh.
Orville Gibson or Leo Fender?
I'm
Jordan,
going to say Leo Fender.
Gabe.
I'm gonna say Leo Fender. I'm gonna agree with that. I think it's Leo Fender.
All right. Let's see what he says.
Like that one.
Like that one. So we wanted to zing real in there real quick first.
Leo Fender.
Winners!
Nicely done, Gabe.
All right. Good
too,
job,
sir.
guys.
Okay.
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 Do I don't have to explain why?
No.
Okay, cool.
No. Wine or beer?
Ooh. I think
Wine
he's-
or beer?
Wine? I think wine.
I don't think Andy's in either. I would bet so much that Andy probably doesn't drink at all, but I'm going to go
Yeah,
with
same.
wine because he has to pick one. I feel like he would pick coffee, though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
probably
Gabe.
true.
I feel like he would skate out on this and just say coffee, but I think Andy doesn't drink either. I think he's going to pick wine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think the builder in him would pick wine because of the
Yeah, yeah.
I think that beer is not a process, but I don't know.
All right. Jordan's mustache has said wine. Gabe has said wine.
Lock in the answers.
Here we go.
Wine.
Yeah.
Aha.
French press or pour over?
His face on that.
His face is so good. I remember. Okay.
Hold on, I have
French
to take a
press or
photo
pour
of
over?
Andy's. Hold on, I have to take a photo of Andy's. The pause
that's
is
so
so
good.
good.
It's like the freeze frame ending of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm going French press.
I'm gonna go pour over.
I prefer pour over, but I think he's going to say French press.
Like this one.
Yeah, like that one.
We knew this would be difficult.
Love mechanics. Probably French press.
The score is 3-2.
Good job, Gabe.
Good job, guys. All right, ready? Here's the next one.
Me too. Yeah. Would you rather learn to play sitar or a full-scale harp?
Ooh.
Would you rather learn to play sitar or a full-scale harp?
I bet full scale harp.
Man. That's so hard because I can see.
Think about Andy. Just think about it, and you guys think about it. Just
I can see an
think
argument
about what
for-
he's going to say.
I can see an argument for both things very, very easily.
Yeah, me too.
Man.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Andy-
I wish I'd spent
Andy's-
more time talking to Andy about the Beatles. I'm going to say sitar.
Okay, so Jordan says harp. Gabe
Yeah.
says sitar.
I can easily see him saying either thing, though.
Having played both,
Shocker. Shocker.
probably sitar.
The score is 4-2. in
My
favor
level of
Gabe.
surprise that he has played both things is 0, by the way.
That's
Same.
why I was saying. I think Mike and I were like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When I needed a pedal steel player for I Know What Love Is, I was like, hey, Andy? He's like, yeah, well, sure. I'll bring
When
it
you
in."
performed it live and he had to switch between pedal steel and banjo, it was fine.
It's just, yeah, no big
He
deal.
just did.
All right, here we go. Keep going. This is fun.
Okay. Would you rather have kids learn guitar on acoustic or electric first?
Acoustic.
Jordan, you're all in on acoustic?
You're
Yeah.
all in. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
This is for $1 million.
Lock
Final
in the
answer.
answer.
Again, I can see an argument made for either because physically it's easier to hold down the strings on an electric guitar. I'm still going to say acoustic, though.
Both locked in.
Locked in?
acoustic.
Final answer? Okay.
Excuse me.
I just like that they learn. Electric, I guess.
I have my
String.
answer, my theories behind it.
Strings are
Yeah,
smaller.
so-
you make it as fun as possible, as
Yep.
quickly as possible. They tend to stay with it. That's what I've seen in the real world.
Right, and you
So-
can put a Marshall half stack behind them.
That's always been my argument. Also, if it's more fun and you can make it cooler and it's with sounds they like to hear, they'll stick with it.
And
When I
we've
talk
discussed
guitar-
this. Yeah, we've discussed this on the show before. You know, like as you're getting into it, play what you want to hear, right? If you're a Green Day fan, don't go buy a nylon string guitar to start with. You know, buy a Strat or something
Buy
similar.
a
where you can-
514 CE Legacy.
You could do that
Another
too.
turn and point a fork stuck in the road.
Yeah, I mean, I don't at all disagree with the statement that because electric is physically easier to play on your hands. It just is.
That is true. That is true. Mom, Dad, people out there buying instruments. It's
And
just
you
a
can play it
thought.
with headphones on. I'm just throwing that out there.
My mom let me get an electric guitar.
If you don't want to hear the bad notes, most starter amps have headphone jacks.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I have one of those old PV amps, the little like
The
110.
Rage?
Yeah, with a distortion button, and that was the sickest. amp on the planet. Okay, next question. Let's go.
Well, that's also pretty rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm there with that.
Notes are the same, just how you arrange them might be different.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. Would you rather listen to guitar with vocals or just the guitar itself?
What does he say next? And what is his answer?
Oh, I don't know what he says next, but I think I mean, it's going to be something about as long as it's songs, he doesn't care or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's with vocals.
Yeah, I think it's with vocals too, but I think I have to start playing logically and go without vocals.
All right. This one might
So
be a little
wait, hang on one second. I
mean-
need to lock in the answers. So
Because-
Gabriel,
Lock in, is this
you
your
are
final
in with
answer?
vocals.
Well, I think he's
Jordan,
gonna,
you
I
are
think
saying
his
guitar
answer's-
alone, no vocals.
His answer's
No
going to
vocals.
hedge because Andy's all about, just like as long as you're playing songs. But I think he's going to end up saying with vocals.
Okay.
If he has
Without.
to lock in on one.
Okay, he has to lock in on
Yes,
without. Okay.
that is. You guys did this to me.
You know what? Star Wars.
Can I ask who's singing?
Not me.
Not Mike.
It changes it. If it's me, just guitar.
All right, we can give him a fair pass on that one because that one is difficult. We said the same thing. Yeah. 'cause-
Sliding scale. I mean,
Sliding
you
scale.
kind of have to name a singer or something to go with that.
All right.
True.
So he didn't really answer the question.
No, not
Well,
at all.
can I just say the words out of his mouth were just guitar?
Yeah, that's true. So we should give this one to Jordan. Just on a
Well, no, because
technicality.
he said if he was singing,
Yeah, he
then
hedged, he
in
hedged
deference to that,
entirely.
just guitar. So the answer is no answer. Nobody gets a point.
Nobody gets a point.
All right, if we were in a football game, would you challenge this with a flag, a little red sand?
I would challenge it with
or
the
not?
flag, and it would still be, it would
Overturned
still be
and
just
charged.
do the play over again is what it
and
would
charged a timeout and automatic first down. Okay,
Sure,
all right,
why
here we
not?
go.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
We won't do that at this
Okay.
moment. Okay.
Refine the question, come back.
Would you rather travel by train or by boat?
Oh, that's a good one. Would you
Oh.
rather travel by plane or
You said
Train.
train or
Train.
boat.
boat?
I think he's going to say boat.
Boat, yeah.
And he's an ocean
Wait
guy.
a minute. Yeah, he's an ocean guy, but boat or by train? Boat. Yeah.
I would pick train, but I think Andy's going to say boat.
Yeah, I think he'll say boat.
All right, you guys sure?
They're
Is
both
that you
locked in on
locking
boat.
You're
Locked in on boat.
Locked in on boat. Final
Dude's a
answer.
surfer.
I'm gonna go train.
Boat.
Damn it.
I like trains. I like boats because they're on the water.
They're in the water and you can
Jordan
probably
changed
find a
his
way to
answer.
surf.
Last
I had
minute
you both
changed
locked
his
in on boat.
from ski.
He
Water
changed
jet.
his answer last
It
minute.
depends on how far from land. I mean, North Sea gets real cold.
Oh, yeah.
I think boats are really neat, though. Really
Yeah.
neat forms.
Oh, this is a great
whole
one.
forms are really
Hey, give the point to Gabe. I lost
No,
it.
Poor Jordan.
following the rules, I locked in your answer on boat.
Yeah,
so
you locked
that's-
in on
that's-
boat.
All right.
Tried to scoot in at the poor Jordan tried to change it at the last
you tried to
second.
like steal defeat from the jaws of victory there, Jordan. So
Yeah, right.
But your mustache is still winning. All right,
Yes.
let's go. Next one. Here we go.
really interesting.
This is a great one. Ready? Edison or Tesla?
Oh.
Oh, are we talking about the inventors?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's going to say Tesla.
Interesting. Okay.
Why, Gabe? Can I ask you why?
I think this is just me, but I think because Tesla actually made more things himself.
Yeah.
Andy's a big reader, he's a big history buff.
I know,
Edison
totally.
employed a lot more people for sure. But a lot of Edison's patents and a lot of Edison's inventions actually were underlings of his. And I think this is my guess, but I would think Andy would respect Tesla's kind of brilliance and
Yeah.
engineering and kind of creative whimsy. Like some of the stuff he was trying to do with wireless electricity is pretty neat. And
Yeah.
like the fact that we use alternating current today, that's Tesla.
It's interesting.
By the way, next question, Jordan's got to go first.
Okay, fine. Jordan's
We got to alternate this.
Edison.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna say Edison. Okay.
Locked in. That's it.
Locked in?
Locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tesla.
Oh goodness, this is great.
This is going about as well for Jordan as the first 6 weeks of fantasy football for him. So
Tesla did work for Edison for a short time. Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Tesla worked for Edison.
Yeah. He was.
so by saying
of those
Tesla, you
underlings.
are saying Edison. So you're both right. No.
Yeah, he did work. He did work for him for a while, and they kind of
Yeah.
had a falling out over differences, and then Tesla went and got alternating current Westinghouse kind of put up the money to build all the generators and things for that.
Love it.
Giant history nerds. so
Giant history nerd.
so giant.
All right, keep going. Here we go.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think this is where it gets nuts.
Okay then. Rolling Stones or the Beatles?
Pass.
Fair. We knew that would happen.
All right, listen. Now I can't get yelled at for the Star Wars, Star Trek thing because I was like, I can't choose.
Right, but
You're going to compare the Rolling Stones and the Beatles to Star Wars and Star Trek?
In the overarching
Really?
sense of it's
Really?
really hard to pick one. For me.
all right. So if you
For
could-
me.
if you picked,
You
one,
just said pass. So yeah, I'm going to compare it.
maybe I got a follow up though. Maybe I got a follow up. So if you did choose, what would you choose? I know it's so hard.
I love that. If you did choose, I know you're not going to choose, but if you did, what are you choosing?
I was trying so hard. All right, so
I
guys,
love that.
what would he choose if he chose?
Jordan has to go first.
Yeah, I got to go first. So is he going to answer the Beatles or the Star Trek thing?
No, the Beatles Stones
Beatles
thing.
thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think he'll pick the Beatles.
Okay. Gabe.
I think he's going to pick Stones.
Okay.
Oh.
Locked in. Final answers.
Locked
Yeah,
in?
let's go.
Okay.
$1 million is on the line. Final answer? Okay.
Phone a friend.
Just okay. Qualification. Today, Monday, December 16th.
Having listened to the Beatles most recently, and by that I mean in the last number of hours, the Beatles.
There you go.
Gosh, this one was hard. I think we went even deeper. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. Next.
Okay then.
Stones was
Zeppelin
yesterday.
or the Beatles?
Zeppelin or the Beatles?
Are we letting Jordan go
Beatles.
first again? I feel like I've
Yeah.
ate
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I'll do Beatles again.
I'm going to agree. I think Beatles also.
Okay.
Gosh. You're trying to make fun of me, aren't you? Do you know that the best song ever written is a list that's many long?
I know, and they're all on it.
Every Beatles, Zeppelin, and Stone song is on the 1,000 song list.
When we were doing pre-production for this,
Yeah.
we knew that this would be the bottleneck.
That's going to be a sticking point.
That's fine. You don't have to answer these because they're all the greatest band ever.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Maybe Beatles.
Okay.
Maybe Beatles. I love it.
By the way, an update on the score. We have Jordan with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct answers. And Gabe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 correct answers. Now we have 5 or so questions to go, I think.
I think so. I don't have the list in front of me.
4 or
but I
5.
think
So, I mean, there's always a chance that Jordan can come back and Gabriel can fall and we may crown Jordan as the champion, or Gabriel holds serve and takes the title.
I mean, lifelong Browns fan, we always lose at the end, don't you?
Browns.
Well,
okay.
not recently. You're just usually out from the beginning of the game.
Fair.
So,
Also fair.
All right, here we go.
Maybe I'll still go with the Beatles because I listened to them more recently than Led Zeppelin.
If you had to choose your favorite Led Zeppelin album, what would it be?
Oh God.
This was a sneaky question. This was not.
Yep.
On the list.
Oh, I don't
But-
have a good answer.
There are
for this.
10 to choose from. So
Yeah. Think about
of the original 10. Not we didn't talk
When-
about how the West was won and all that stuff.
Right. When you hear Andy's answer, what would he say? Just think about it.
We're talking studio albums only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You almost Scott Pauled an F-bomb. I heard that right there.
I think that was Jordan's mustache.
Oh.
I mean, ooh, that's so hard. I think this is a Jordan first one, by the way.
I'm gonna go with I can't even either Led Zeppelin or Led Zeppelin 3.
Which
You wanna
one?
split the difference and say Led Zeppelin 2?
You know what?
I'm kidding.
Think
Don't
about
take
Andy.
my don't take my
No,
judgment
Led,
into-
Led Zeppelin. Wait a minute. Led Zeppelin 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This is more of a bonus question because it's certainly
it's a
not a
bonus
this or
question.
that.
It's extra credit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm waiting to see what people in the chat put.
I know.
Yeah,
what would
dude.
they put?
mean,
What do you
this is-
think
this
Andy's
is-
favorite Led Zeppelin
this
album
is
is?
brutal to pick. Like, in every way.
But when you hear his answer, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah. I'm gonna pick 4.
Led Zeppelin
Alright.
4.
Okay, final answer.
Just going to California's on it.
It's a great one.
All right, they're locked in. Mike, we ready?
They are locked in. We have them.
Oh, gosh. Let's go with Zeppelin 1.
Jordan, you
But-
were all over it, man.
Listen to his answer though. Listen, his reasoning is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start at the beginning, man.
Right. It's right.
I mean, the
And then go to
intro to
Zep-
Good Times, Bad Times has got to be one of the coolest electric sounds of that era. We just go, this is absolutely glorious. And you have so many great songs on the same record. Go, this like there is no filler song on this record.
Yeah.
Like front to back, that is really, really cool.
There's
And you
something.
can say the same thing about almost any one of the Beatles records.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you have to take
absolutely.
it almost like an entire complete thought.
You have to take it as a complete thought. I say the same thing. I don't have a favorite Beatles song. I just don't. There's no one Beatles song because on
Really
a
tough,
Monday it might be this, and on a Tuesday it might be that.
Right.
So I get that. All right. Longboard or
Next one,
Hey.
longboard or shortboard?
short?
Wait, just to that though. If you have a favorite Beatles song and you have a favorite, okay, so if you have a favorite Beatles album and then you ask the same person what their favorite Beatles song is, it will not be a part of that album.
100% true.
100% true.
Yeah, that's how versatile their whole catalog
That's
is.
100% true of me.
Yeah, I don't have
My
a
favorite Beatles song is not on my favorite Beatles album.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite Beatles song because of that. I
Yeah.
just can't. There's just too much. So the question, if you heard it real quick, was a longboard or shortboard?
Shortboard. Oh,
I'm going longboard.
yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna go longboard.
So both are saying longboard.
Wait, shortboard is more like rip curl, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go longboard.
Okay.
You got it? Final answer?
I mean,
They are both locked in on
Locked in.
longboard.
All right. Let the good times roll. Here we go.
How big's the surf?
Oh goodness.
See, that's not something that we accounted for when
We
came up
didn't
with that
account
question.
for that.
If the surf is tiny and you hand me a little shortboard, I'll go, okay. But I really want my longboard.
Got it.
And if the surf is huge and you hand me a big nose rider longboard that's built for surf this big, I'm going to go, I'll try.
We just learned how to surf.
There we go.
All right, great. You just learned how to surf. Oh,
so that was a non-answer.
That was a non-answer. But should we give them at least an extra point just for the sake
They
of giving
each
them points?
get it correct.
Good job, guys.
Cool.
a technicality. Here we go. Ready? Next question.
Oh, here's a good one. Ford or Chevy?
Ooh, I think he's going to go Ford.
Yeah, I do too. I think Ford.
So
Final
they're
answer.
both locked on Ford.
Can I put a Chevy in a Ford?
Yes.
That's one of my cars currently.
That's right. You have a
Chevy-
Chevy engine and a Ford, don't
Yeah,
you?
that one's the 38 is a 38 Ford Standard with a Chevy drivetrain plus Ford rear end. Does that count?
Yes. So
Okay.
both.
The car is a Ford.
Huh?
The car is a Ford.
But he said both.
You said both. Gabe is gonna throw a challenge flag right
You're
now.
both
isn't he?
you're both are going to get the point. It's not like one of you
Yeah.
said Ford and
I
the
don't
other said
care.
Chevy. You both get the point.
both get
Which,
the point.
by the way, just to recap, we now have Jordan with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Gabe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're coming to the penultimate question.
All right, here we go. Let's keep going.
Got it.
Chord.
A chord.
It's a
Okay.
chord.
Cord, actually, if you want to.
Well, no, that was a different
Chevy.
company. Cord was a different company.
Geometry or algebra?
Geometry or algebra?
Geometry.
Geometry.
Shapes.
All right. Final answer.
Okay.
That's kind of fun. Geometry.
I was better at geometry as well. I enjoyed shapes. Anyway, okay.
Oh, it's
Congratulations. You both got it right.
All right, here we go. Next.
fun to. It's never mind. You're stop.
I'm
not going to take us there.
We got 2 left. Thank you for this segment. Thank you for your time,
All
Andy.
right, now stop it
My
right
pleasure.
there. Now, there are 2 left. This is where strategy comes in for both Gabe and Jordan. Gabe has Jordan by 2 points. So here's what we're going to do. Jordan, you're going to answer the next one first. Gabriel, you're going to get the second one. The last question you're going to answer first.
All right.
Okay.
This way, one's not stealing the other's answer or
Yeah.
center square to block.
Oh, yeah.
So now my strategy is not only do I have to know what I think Andy's going to say, I have to know what I think Gabe is going to say for Andy.
Yes.
Correct.
This does not
Strategy.
affect my answers at all. So either way.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Beach or farm?
Beach
Beach.
or farm?
Beach.
Jordan is locked in on beach.
Yeah, beach. I mean, Andy lives on a farm, but he loves to spend time at the beach.
Yeah, but he lives on a farm.
Yeah, near a beach.
Okay. So we're locked in, huh?
We have beach.
We have beach.
For both.
All right. Here we go.
Farm by the beach.
All right.
Hold on.
Mike, we
Technically
have someone
speaking, he said farm,
Technically, yeah.
who's-
but it was near the beach.
Right. Hold on.
So,
Yeah.
but
He is playing this game much like you play this game.
I played that game like this with one question, and that is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
One question.
Okay, if I spend all my time at the beach, I'm going to get real hungry. But if I spend all of my time on the farm, I'm really going to want to go surfing.
We didn't ask logic to come into play,
Oh.
but
Okay,
he's
beach.
got a point.
Good job, guys. Beach it is.
Mike,
you
I
both
will
have it
say-
right.
I'll say
Now-
that you are way better at this game than he is, though.
Damn right. Now we're coming to the last question. Gabriel, you still have Jordan by 2 points, but this is going to be a 3-point question.
There we
You're
go.
just trying to stack this against me in every way.
No, I'm just
no, we're
trying to build the drama. So
Okay.
this will
Hey,
be
Gabe,
a 3-point question.
You edited the audio.
I didn't listen to this much of it.
Right.
I've gotten questions wrong.
On purpose to throw
true.
off the scent.
Totally.
You guys. All right, ready? Let's
3-point question for all the marbles.
I didn't even know there was a this or that in this.
Yeah, all
Gabe,
right.
how
Gabe,
far I listened.
Gabe answered the Rolling Stones.
All right, here we go.
Beach.
He never said beach. He never
Yeah,
said
I'll go fishing. I'll go fishing.
All right, and last but not least, opera or musical?
And Gabriel, you have dibs on this one.
You have the floor,
Oh.
Gabe.
I was about to answer.
I'm picking musical.
Musical for Gabe.
There's more breadth of styles and there's more instruments involved.
Jordan, you can either agree with Gabriel and guarantee a loss, or you could take a shot at beating him. But if you do lose, you'll lose by a full 5 points, which means nothing. And if you win,
There's no
you'll win
prize
by
for
1
this.
point, which will also mean nothing, except you'll have bragging rights.
No, I found during the show on Amazon, and I ordered it, a trophy. So I have it being
okay,
sent
well.
here, and then whomever wins will get the trophy.
God,
Now
I
you will
was-
have a trophy. There
I
is a
sincerely hope
trophy.
It's a taco trophy.
There's a trophy, and the winner gets a trophy. Yeah, so it's like a first inaugural. This
There
or
really
that
is only
game
one
show.
path for Jordan to possibly win.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You have to be-
I want the trophy, and
Yep.
I'm going to listen to my CEO
I
when he
don't
says that
care
there's
about the trophy.
value. If there's value in doing something, you should do it. And I'm going to go and say opera, even though I think what Gabe said is correct. I'm going to go
All
and
right,
say
now-
opera.
Now, with that said, there will be a clear winner. There is going to be a winner. There is no tie. There will be a clear winner. We don't know who it is. Actually, I know who it is, and Jay knows who it is. But
Yeah, I know who it is.
there will be a clear winner.
Yeah.
It will be decisive.
All right, you guys ready? Everybody ready? Well, John over here thinks it's opera to go with his wine.
Nobody
Yeah,
plays guitar in
let's
opera.
let's see what the audience has to say. What the viewers are saying right now. We have one vote for opera.
There's no
One
guitars
vote
in
for
opera.
opera. Let's get a couple more. Come on, folks.
Everything Gabe said about
And he
musicals
likes
was
jazz,
right.
and he likes
Yeah.
archtops. That's all up in opera or in musicals. There's electric guitars. There's nylon string guitars. There's
You can
steel
see
string
10
guitars,
different musicals and have 10 different genres
styles
of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would know. I see a lot of musicals.
Phil says musical.
Come on, Andy, say opera.
All right, we only got 2 votes coming in, so
Yes. I have one. It's right over there. They're great.
yeah, Academy 12E Nylons are absolutely fantastic.
They're so much
Bluegrass
fun.
musical.
Okay.
Tex says
they're
bluegrass musical.
The new "Swept Away," which is the Avett Brothers songs. Not really bluegrass, but you know,
Sambo 76 says musicals because opera is awful.
Okay.
opera's not awful. But I'm going with
Opera's not awful. Yeah.
And Jordan's wife is rooting on and saying opera.
I don't know her. I love you. I say opera.
All right,
Okay,
ready?
locked in.
Locked in.
Here we go.
Also, if I chose opera over musicals, I think I'd be locked out of this house. So definitely
I got it.
musicals.
I got it. Here we go. Ready?
Opera.
Yeah.
Closet opera fan.
I'm not even closet, man. It is just remarkable what they can do with their wind.
Yes.
The ability that people have.
Our oldest son made fun
Remarkable
of
what
me because
Jay
he
can do
thought-
with his wind.
I wasn't crying. It was just my eyes were sweating a lot.
Right? It moves you to physical reaction when you focus on what is actually happening
Yeah.
with operatic singers like that. It's just it's
It's
boggling,
it's
man.
not just the singing. It's not just the performance. But you
No,
look at
it's
the
the-
structure of what was written, what was
Yeah.
composed for this. You go, you orchestrated this, composed this. You put this thing together that is intended as a emotive experience.
Yeah.
It's
And
really moving.
that matched up with the projection of the vocal. Like, tell me, I don't care who you are. Listen to "Time to Say Goodbye," Andrea Bocelli, Sarah Brightman.
Oh,
Those
that's a
last 3
brilliant-
notes. Tell me you don't get emotional. I don't care who you are.
No.
Yeah,
It's-
you're gonna cry at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
You know what I
for sure,
mean?
100%.
You
1000%.
It's Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I cry at the end of that movie as much as the end of Back to the Future. All right. That being said, Andy, thanks for jumping on this last episode of Primetime. We appreciate being inspired by you on a regular basis, watching you make instruments that none of you can see right now because they're behind the camera.
Oh, look at all.
Oh.
You can't see them yet.
The one on that bench is really good. You got to try that one before you go home.
I'm looking at it.
I'm excited for that one for the coming year. That's going to be a good day.
That's a good one.
That's a good day.
Mike Venezia's signature model.
Mike Venezia's signature model.
There you go.
Man. Andy, thank you so much for jumping on with us.
My pleasure, you guys.
Mike, it's always good to hang with you. And we'll see you in 2 seconds.
And now.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan is the winner.
Congratulations, good sir. You win the trophy that Jay has now ordered. And the good news is that Jay doesn't have to ship it.
Yeah, there you go.
Totally.
I don't.
Gabe,
We
good
don't have
game. Good game, my friend.
Good game. I would good game you, but we're in different time zones.
Time zones, yeah.
Your mustache is tight, though. Like, his mustache needed to win. Hold on, let's show everybody this up close and personal. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan's mustache.
The
It's
Jordan
brilliant.
stash.
Amy, you know what?
Air
You're lucky.
Jordan stash.
Air Jordan.
Daria just got here.
What?
Oh, Dar. You missed the greatest episode of all time that you weren't on. Anyway, hey, you know what's cool about YouTube is you can go back and watch it.
Yep, indeed.
Anywho, hold on, what's that? Sorry, no sorries. Back to the Future, the musical. Come on, yeah.
Saw it.
all
It's
of
really
it.
good.
Back to the Future in general is the greatest
On
movie
stage,
of all time.
It's fantastic.
In my
I
opinion.
enjoyed it.
I get into arguments about this all the time. I think we've talked about it on the show before. Like, and I'll say it again if you've heard me say this. I have never seen the Godfather trilogy because I love the look on people's faces when I say it. It's so exciting to me.
Oh, that's me with Sling Blade.
You've never seen Sling Blade?
No,
That's
I refused to watch it because for
It's
like
so
5
good.
years everybody like wouldn't shut up about it, and I was like, I'm not seeing this.
It ain't got no gas in it. I mean,
I don't even
Jordan
know what
would sound
that's-
like that right now if he said it. Say it ain't got no gas in it, Jordan, please.
It ain't got no gas in it.
See? Sling
Anyway.
Blade's a fantastic film.
Haven't seen it. Not gonna see it.
Anyway, Mike, that was a
Jay,
riot. That was
That was
really
fun.
great.
That was good.
Guys, this was a long episode. We didn't think it would go this long,
But
actually.
it did.
But it
did.
did.
Here it is.
And we have to say goodbye
All feeders in.
for the year. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah's a lot late this year, I learned.
Starts
It
the day
starts
after
on-
Christmas.
On the 25th, right? And it goes
think it's the
until January 2nd.
It's on the 25th, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's the evening of the 25th.
the evening of the 25th. Jordan, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you, sir.
And all of those who celebrate Hanukkah, and all of those who celebrate Christmas, and all of those who celebrate the Back to the Future being the greatest movie of all time. You know, a little fun fact about Back to the Future. My brother, my oldest brother Joe, and I saw that. It's so great. We saw it. He was a professional cyclist, and he used to race in Belgium, and he would come home every summer. And check this out, Gabe, you're laughing at me. We saw it in the theater 9 times.
That's how many times I saw Robin Hood Prince of
9
Thieves.
times.
9 times, which is a
9 times.
Ferris Bueller
Yes.
reference. 9 times.
That's how many times my brother and I saw Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. Which as
Really?
it turned it does not hold up. It's pretty bad. But when I was, 10 years old, I thought it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
No,
Anywho.
I was laughing because that moment is a microcosm of our entire friendship.
What, Back to the Future?
No, just you taking a tangent to tell me some random story.
I know, it's awesome. It's so good, right? I
So
got a
good.
good one. Like the time my mom made eye contact with Neil Diamond. Did that happen to your mom? No.
No.
Wait, did
Neil
she really?
Diamond
I don't think
made-
my mom's ever been to a concert.
Oh, well, my mom went to see Neil Diamond, and he looked her in the eyes, and he was like, tweet, 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 hearts.
Oh, man. I'm jealous
know?
of your mom.
I know.
Love on the rocks.
For a lot of
Anyway.
reasons.
So
Ain't no
good.
big surprise.
No,
It's
you
only
didn't.
a dream.
Daria, you didn't miss the best movie game, but we played this or that with Andy, and we had
Jordan won.
Jordan and Gabe guess his answers before we heard the answers, and Jordan won a trophy.
Jordan crushed it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been
That is it.
fantastic hanging out with you guys. Thanks for meeting up with us every other Tuesday. We did take a break this year for our summer break as normal, but we appreciate you guys. We will be back in the new year with new content, new shows, new people, new guests.
New
All of
guitars.
that kind of stuff. New guitars. My goodness gracious. The one that was behind Andy.
Newsies.
I played that thing. I really would love it if it was the Mike Venezia signature model. I kind of need one.
Was it?
You played it, Mike?
I did. I played it.
It's great.
And the funny thing is, it's not done.
It's not done. No.
It's not done.
Was it a Taylor version of the Dean Flying V acoustic?
No.
Actually, it was a Taylor version of the Kerry King signature model from Dean. So it was actually a different shape.
That
More
being
points.
said,
Very pointy. It was the first really pointy acoustic guitar I've ever played.
that being said, happy holidays, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you, Jordan, for putting the show together. It was a fantastic idea to reach out to everybody. We should do that
absolutely.
more often next year. I think that's really,
Sure.
really great. Bill, thanks for jumping by. Justice, thanks for jumping by. Phil, it's good to see you again. Rob, always good to see you. Carlos, Daria, of course.
Tex.
Tex is here somewhere.
He's around.
There's Tex. Hi, Tex.
There's our homie Tex.
Is
Eric's
Rob here?
here. Huh?
Rob Seymour?
Rob Seymour's here. Yeah,
Rob Seymour's
absolutely.
been
Rob's
hanging.
here.
Rob,
Who
are
else
you getting
we
the
got?
emails or no? Hit me up.
We got this. We got Amy Perkins.
Oh. that's my
Sambo
girl.
76 is here. John. Oh man.
Violet.
Mike Venezia. Some guy named Mike Venezia is here.
Yeah, I know, right? That's terrible.
Yeah, this guy. John, I agree with you. Telly's rule. All right. All right, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. We love you.
Happy holidays to everybody. Happy New
Year.
Year. Merry Christmas.
Love you
Happy
all.
holidays.
Joyous Kwanzaa. All the other ones that we may have missed.
Hope you get all the surprises you deserve.
Indeed.
Until next time, we'll
See you, nerds.
See you, nerds. Ending the stream.